a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to lay it all on the line.
Showtime, baby!
I'll take on all of you! Round one. Fight!
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do?
Hey!
This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Ooh, will they hit, whip, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna make a move? Both fighters are looking for a way to fill up their super art gauge. Gaining some meter would open up the opportunity to deal huge damage, but that's easier said than done. Phase cool encounters. Alright. Shoots off a fireball up close. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? Taking stock. Feeling out the spacing. Neither fighter can force the other to give up even an inch. Oh, talk about overextending. Knockdown. In a dire situation, they can't afford aimless target locked and scooped. One shot is all both fighters need to close this out. Experiencing burnout. Player 2, they're stunned. All they need to do is get enough damage to finish it. Doesn't let up and gets the stun. This round may be as good as over. Comes from behind to pick up the win. They took advantage of every chance. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Rolling Soba. The next round is beginning. What's gonna happen now? Player 1 looking to plant him with a pile driver. There's a wall splash. They can't do anything now. Burnout activated. Experiencing burnout. Target locked and scoop. Uses their drive to maximize their damage. Risky decision, but let's see how this plays out. Our fighters are at a standstill. What's the play here? They're both driveless. This is gonna get messy. Big time win! Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Closing moments of the match. One hit's gonna do it. Hugs nothing but air! Player 2 can reach out and hug him. You need guts to pull that off. Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match.
Comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table.
Hope you're not a sore loser.
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Tries to bait him with the projectile. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Goes air to deny them a chance. Now they get pushed into the corner, where it's going to be very difficult to escape. Buy some time by driving them into the corner, and now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Picture perfect punish counter, and a super activation, looking to score some juicy damage. Knockdown. Did well to get the buff in there. Heading into the end game now. Were they baiting them into that? Drumming up against them. Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round 2. Fight.
Goes in with the drive impact to start. Impacts are no go. Checks him with a hits him with a stop and pop. He's like, this is gonna be bad news. Punishes there with the drive impact. Really laying on the pressure. Nails the overdrive arrow kick. Knockdown and scrapping it out up close. Player experiencing burnout. Oh no, they're stunned. The stun got both sides thinking about what's next. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. Barely blocks the jump in. Both fighters planning something? Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? Brings down the waning moon on him. A real test of Nook digs in deep to get that drive in. But she closes it out. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Will we see our fighters fill each other out or just let it fly in this opening round? Box him with a target control. The drive parry was successful. Parrying attack like that is risky. Buy some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Can't tech the throw? Knockdown. Low heavy hits, mix up incoming. Right lead opens up. Both can end the round now, and the drive gauge disparity may come into play. Drumming up a beatdown. Whiffs with that huge attack. Experiencing burnout. Player 1 needs to hold out until their drive gauge recovers. Drink level max out. This party's getting KO. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round 2. Fight!
Are we going to see some fireworks here? Air Slasher! Player 2 had an impressive round while managing their drive gauge. They'll want to carry that momentum into the next round. This is the range. Springs forward with the drive rush. Okay, so you can use drive rushes just like that to launch attacks from much further away. Pokes with a medium kick. Rips the slasher out. Drive rush to keep it going. Player 1 has the life lead. Can they use it? There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Full SA meters on deck for burnout activates. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Hits him with his free fall. Springs forward with the drive rush. Hits him with a stop and vibe. Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? They're going for the super art? No question whether this super art is going to kill or not. Taking no prisoners. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Final round. Fight!
Crowns him from above. Barely blocks the jump in. The low. Oh man, this is a change of plans. Player gotta do better than that. Uses the impact to shave off some of their drive gauge. Nice fireball. Brings down the waning moon on him. Oh, that throw did some juicy damage. Getting up close and personal. Nothing stops this train. Machine gun uppercut. Fires off an overdrive arrow. Oh, here we go. Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Gets the counter hit. Free full strike. Getting in all on the drive rush. Oh, sees right through him. It's gut check time for both fighters. Go heavy with authority. Player 2 was definitely sweating during that well-earned win. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. The low kick hits. Jackknife maximum cuts clean through him. Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Ooh, will they hit, whip, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Player 1 in that dangerous burnout state. Can they outlast it? Surprises them with a drive rush. Okay, so you can use drive rushes just like that to launch attacks from much further away. Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. The drink level up to 4. All options are on the table. Anything could happen here. Jumps up. Okay, they trade hits. Both fighters planning something? Hold your breath, drive runs to keep it going. The super KO! Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight!
Rips the slasher out. Sees it coming and blocks it out. Whiffs the throw. Still very early in the round. Keeping track of the opponent's movements, waiting for a good opening. The low heavy's blocked. Still slugging it out at this range. Throws a projectile to zone the opponent. Checking to see how the opponent reacts to long-range fireball. This is a clear sign that they're testing their opponent's knowledge and game plan. Air slasher! Both fighters planning baits out the attack and gets the punish count. The rapid fire. We may see interruption soon. They decide to take a breather to regroup. So, what's next? Full SA meters on deck for both. Perfect kick hits! This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Final round. Fight!
Opens with the fireball. Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? Player 1 took that round comfortably. No need to bring out the big guns yet. Pumps the brakes on the impact. Excellent block to shut up.
It's time
Lands
to
the Getsuga Saiho. Going for that juicy damage. What will all in with a rush? There's a burnout. This unleashes some big damage. Then crowns him from above. White connects with the throw. Okay, here we go. Changes the pace with the fire. They're taking a step back to slow down the pace. These to their last bit of drive. Shows off a parry. Impact squat. Blocks the low kick. Both sides getting ready. Dangerous range here. Fires off an air slasher. Change of plans. Nothing stops this train. No hesitation or regret. Hits him with that NSFW. This is gonna kill. No doubt about it. Are you kidding me? Player 1 comes out on top with a fierce battle. Talk about a show. That match had it all.
A new challenger.
How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
Gotta do this. Come on. Bring the heat.
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Player 1 has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? Player 1 has them legit shook in the corner. All right, what's coming up next? Player 1 down to the wire.
Gotcha.
Bops him with a target combo. Okay, creating some space here. That's one huge life lead. Is this going where we think it is? Opts for the air-to-air encounter. Feeling out the spacing. goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. KO. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight!
They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Medium kick hit.
Oh, yeah!
Parries the attack. Not a perfect parry, but I'll take it. Blocks the impact. Springs forward with the drive rush. Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Out of range. Relatively safe. Jackknife maximum cuts clean through him. Blocks it. The throw missed. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. A quick breather. They were expecting that drive impact. Smart play with the throw. Going in, throw tag. Player 2 needs to use the predator. Uses the gauge for a super art. No question whether this super art is going to kill or not. Taking no prisoners. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now.
Final round. Fight!
Starting off with fireballs right from the get, hits him with a stopping bomb. Drumming up a beatdown. Yes, sir. More damage, please. Player 2 with the lead. Will they go for offense or defense? Sets up with the jump in. Okay, here we go. Player 1 has the super gauge advantage. Slashes him with a jackknife. With the betting in all on the drive rush. Crowns him from above. Light blow heavy, but no go. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Here comes... Oh, that throw did some juicy damage. Keeps him out. Any throw will whiff at that range. Were they looking to connect with an overdrive arc from this situation? Player 2 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. They can't get hit here. What a statement with that fireball. They're just gonna go for it with the super. Are you kidding me? Player 2 has gotta be feeling good getting the win out of that absolute carnage. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. Sticks out a kick. Goes for the fireball, which is very strong and bears the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? The fighters take a step back to reassess. Time for a new game plan. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. They need to hold out. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Steps in for the throw. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not goes for the super art. Player 1 will want to take advantage of their meter lead while they have it. All right, what's coming up next? Closes with the throw. Hitting him with the smart stuff. That's Player 1 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Fight!
Immediate jump in. Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Player 1 kept their drive gauge topped off through that round and still took the win. Guess they didn't need it. Just cool into the low kick. Brushes off the impact. You can block impacts, but you're gonna lose some drive gauge when you do. Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Going in? Brushes that off and keeps going. Combo with the target combo. Oh, they're in the corner now. No running away. Chases them into the corner and will now look to do some damage. No knockdown as the low heavy is blocked. Halfway through this round. Still lots of time left in this fight. It hits him with a stopping block. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Pops him with a shorty. Wrong critical. What's gonna happen? Both light and super hard gauges are not looking good. Time to grind it out. At least one of them is having a good time. The kick hits! That's what happens when you capitalize on all of your chances. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. This is crucial. The opening round is about to begin. Lets off a projectile to waste time. Uses the target combo to take a chunk of damage off the opponent. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? They're not going to allow any jump-ins. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. Player 1 with the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? Trying to figure out who will make the first move here. Checks with the projectile. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Not so fast. Takes them all the way to the corner with that. Good job here in giving themselves a chance to gain the upper hand. Player 2 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Burnout is triggered. Cleans up the round, ending it with a powerful drive impact. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Immediate jump in. Checks him with the projectile. You know their fireball game is solid, but they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Uses the gauge for a super art. Sunrise Festival. Can they ride the beat to the end? Player 2, how will they utilize it? Oh no, they're stunned. What'll happen here? Player 2 holding on to that corner. It connects with the throw. Barely blocks the jump in. Going in, throws them. Grabs and throws them away. Slashes them with a jackknife. Are we gonna see a comeback here? Okay, here we go. A jump, sets up with the jump in. Turns out. Player 2 can't use any drive moves. Gotta play it safe. Big game took that amazing never say die attitude, got them the win. Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion.
Comes a new challenger.
They're all fired up. We're almost underway.
Showtime, baby!
No mercy for you.
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Checks with the projectile.
Feeling it!
We're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. What are they thinking here? Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner, and now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Corner switch means they can now go on the offensive. Does not want to get stuck in the corner. The throw hits, now the fun begins. Player 1 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. The damage is really piling up now. You can see how cornering your opponent is such an effective game plan. Life lead opens up. Knock death with a super art connect. The super doesn't hit. Opts for the throw to close it out. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round 2. Fight.
Starting off with fireballs right from the get-go. Medium kick hits. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. Zones with the fireball. What's the next move? Oh, the back and forth reads are unreal. Player 1 can't use any drive moves without burning out. A quick breather. Charges forward. Air slasher. Looking for a chance. Breaks the block with a throw. Connects with the throw. Looks like they want to put a noose. Knocks him out of the air. Can they use their drive to stage a comeback? Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Shows the medium kick. What's next? Knew the throw was coming. What'll be the plan here? You've got to be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Player 2 gotta do better than that. Up for the arrow. Player 2 has a full drive gauge, but is on the brink of death. Sneaks in the throw. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point.
Final round. Fight.
The low. The last round. It's now or never. Going on the offensive? Attempts to break the skip. Chases him down. Nothing stops this train. This is a bad situation to be in. Oh, the throw connects. What now? Serves him a knuckle sandwich. Pumps the brakes on the impact. Oh, yo, Ross super hit. The party's getting started. Can they make the most of it? Holy! Punish counter on the action. Flatlines them. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
comes a new challenger.
What are we going to see transpire between these fighters? No one knows, but this is going to be a must-see match.
Time, baby.
I'm number one. Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Tries to get a breather with a projectile.
Hey. Come on.
Trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Plenty of time left. How's the match going to play out? Lays on the pressure with the projectile. Throwing on even more pressure with the fireball. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? The fighters take a step back to reassess. Time for a new game plan. Will they incorporate that full drive gauge they have into their game plan? Will they use their drive to break through or to turn up the heat? Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Both fighters may be looking to risk going in with an empty SA gauge so they can fill it quickly. Gaining some meter would open up the opportunity to deal huge damage, but that's easier said than done. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. In a dire situation, they get us down to the wire. Were they baiting them into that? And a super activation, looking to score some juicy damage. Both fighters are just about to tag them and takes the W. Player 2 on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round two. Fight.
Right off the bat, there's no hesitation. Player heats it up with a combo into super. Hits him with a stop and pop. Experiencing burnout. Player 1 in dire straits with the punish counter gives them a great opening here to do big damage. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. They're both driveless. This is gonna get messy. Charges forward. Going on the offensive. Delivers the pain right to the doorstep. Oh, here we go. Player 1, he grabs him. Hey, oh, they got him. Player 2 faced a giant and walks away unscathed. What a win. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. We are here in the first round. Which one of them will let their fist do the talking? Player 2 chases them down. There's a punish counter. This can lead to something very big if they can capitalize. Player 2 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Knockdown. Very solid corner switch. Neither of them willing to back off here. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good dose for the super art. Takes a trip. Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a fireball. Heading into the end game now, it gets them. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with?
Round two. Fight.
Throw leaves them wide open. Who's going to start things off? Going on the offensive? Player 2 chases him. Oh! Brushes that off and keeps going. And 100-hand slap. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. Good old slap ends the meter, hoping for a good return. Is this gonna kill? And it's just enough. Solid read on the bars. Well, listen.
comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to lay it all on the line.
Fight with all your heart!
Bring the heat.
Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Checks with a projectile. Still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. What are they thinking here? Still slugging it out here. Uses the target combo to take a chunk of damage off the opponent. Knockdown. Player 2 can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the situation. How much damage can they deal before the opponent's drive gauge replenishes? We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Player 1 chases them down. Knockdown and... Player 2 has... That's not gonna hit! Closing moments of the match. In there! Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
I have you! You...
Are we going to see some fireworks here? Medium kick hits. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. Player 2 can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the situation. We have a super up. There's a wall spot. They can't do anything now. Drumming up a beatdown. Player 2 needs to use the front of the corner here. Knockdown and player 1 experiencing burnout. Are we gonna see a comeback here? Both sides getting ready. Quick medium poke. Ooh, filthy cross up. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks.
Fight. Round. Fight.
Final round. Who will the fighting game gods favor here? Looking for a hold. Crowns him from above. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. Were they looking to connect with an overdrive arc for this situation? Drive gauge is almost out. Use them. There's a burnout. Player 1 is looking at a grim situation with all the throws connects. Both sides turns out. Low heavy. I didn't think this time to bust this out. You go. They didn't take the throw. Player 1 made some smart moves there. Great game. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Nice air slasher. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump from it. Uses a drive parry against the attack. Player 2 has been really leaning on that drive gauge. If the drive gauge is completely empty, the player will enter burnout and won't be able to use drive for a period of time, so it's vital to not let that happen. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Who's gonna make a move? Bops him with a target. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Adds a little super juice. It's nice. Sees the combo through and takes the round. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes with the projectile for their opening shot. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Player 1 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Jackknife maximum cuts clean through him. Hits him with a stop and pop. Springs forward with the drive rush. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Gets the jump in. Tries to act quickly but whiffs the attack. Just goes for it at this range. Crowns him from above. Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Stuff a super art. What were they thinking? What a finish! This is the final round. Expect to see some
was a
fireworks.
beautiful fight.
Final round. Fight!
Fires off an air slasher. Final round. Who will the fighting? Ooh! Rushes that off and keeps going. Uses the target combo as a filler. Here comes the corner pressure and whips. They're wide open. Player one crowns them from above. Taking chunks out of each other here. Target combo into. Slashes them with a chest. Both sides getting ready. Presses for a reaction with a fireball. Escapes the corner. Nice air slash. The low kick hits. Dangerous range here. Fires off an air slash. What was that on? A real test of nerve turns up. It is over. Player one is a force to be reckoned with.
Here comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table.
Bring the heat.
Round one. Fight!
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Checking their opponent. Jump in, finds the mark. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Utilizes an overdrive art there to tack on just a little more damage. Will this decision pay off for them? Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. Alright, what's coming up next? At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Taking stock. Player 1 chases them down. Good jump down to the wire. Can they convert this punish counter opportunity into something? Player 1 is maintaining the corner position for some juicy damage. Experiencing burnout. Takes a trip. Player 2 in trouble with no burnout activates. Both players all out of drive here. Closing moments of the match. One hit's gonna do it. Sneaks in the throw. Player 2 takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Jackknife maximum cuts clean through him. Player hits him with a stop and bop. Jump. Super on deck for both fighters. Expect to see some fireworks. A quick breather. Player 1 will look to apply pressure here. Big throws. Knockout and still slugging it out. Ooh! Brushes that off and keeps going. Are we going to see a comeback here? Gets the combo. This can lead to some big damage. Player 1 kick out of nowhere. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. The last round. It's now or never.
Oh yeah.
Blast that off. Yes, sir. More damage, please. Connects with the throw. Grounds him from above. Oh man, this is a scary range. Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Plenty of health, full gauges. Let's go. This can lead to some big damage. Okay, here we go. Flashes an end to this round with a level 3 super. Made some smart moves there. Great game. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that run back. Zones with the fireball. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Goes to big time that just right to get the perfect parry. Amazing read to flash the parry just in time to catch the attack. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. They need to hold out. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. Trips him up. No good up high. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move where you're going to eat tons of damage. Drive gauge finally recovers. Goes for the fireball. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Both fighters are trying to decide their next move. Feeling out the spacing. Caught in the cross-up. Uses the pin. Grabs him. Knockdown. The fighters return to the middle. Heats it up with a combo into super. Next hit will end the round. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Life lead opens up. Air slasher. The projectile to try and change the situation. KO. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent like hold your breath. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Knockdown and the jump-in is denied. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Took him to the corner in a flash. Chases them into the corner and will now look to do some damage. Paladin, this is gonna be bad news. Experiencing burnout. A quick breather. A super art. The greatest Sobat. Can they build off of it? Perfect execution with the anti-air. Connects with medium kick. Barely blocks the jump. Burnout activates. Okay, here we go. Are they trying to bait each other into making a mistake? One player is in burnout state. Is it time to end this? What now? Taking in with the flatline zone. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Scuff him. Uses their drive gauge. Both fighters look to set things. The low. All the throw connects. Player drops them from the air. This unleashes some big damage. Getting up close and personal. Pokes with a kick. There's a burnout. This is gonna hurt. Connects with the throw. Adds a bit of OD spice. Ooh, you never know. Gotta do better than that. No! Stand off the wall! Ooh, what a smart throw. Both sides getting ready. Can they use their drive to stage a comeback? They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? Getting in all on the drive round. They push. Shoryuken to push forward. Draw super hard incoming. Real test of nerves here. Fired. What's this chicken huddle gonna do? Excellent read. Player 2 still has a chance, but it's going to be an uphill battle. Time to make them famous. The party's getting started. I can't close them. Looking for a hole. Nice air slasher. Kicks out a kick. Oh my God! This might be not the perfect read. Take a seat. Spencer's with the fire rushes in. What are they? Why are you serious? That comeback was unreal. We just saw this fighter play out of their goddamn mind there. It's not over yet. Let's believe it's time for that runback. Barely blocks the jump in. Breaks those shins. Uses a long-range attack there to zone them perfectly. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Player 2 is in burnout. Drives off the table. All right, what's coming up next? Shoots off a fireball up close. From up above. Takes a trip. Player 2 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough life left to take the round if they play smart. They need to rely on their instincts here. Moses with the throw. Hitting them with the smart stuff. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Air slasher. whiffs the throw. Grabs him, closes the gap for the grab. The fighters continue to check each other in the early going. Sees it coming and blocks it out. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Jumps in. Blocks the impact. We're at a standstill, but we may see an eruption soon. Springs forward with the drive rush. Connects with medium kick. Close range projectile. Drops that off. Catches out the cage right there. A clean KO. Nice meter awareness. KO. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to lay it all on the line.
Ready? Then show me.
Bring the heat.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Nothing but air for the impact. Player 2 has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? Gets the jump in. Nails the anti-air. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Takes a trip. Shoots off a fireball up close. Player 1 chases them down. The jump in catches them. Knockdown. Grabs them. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. KO. Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes for the jump in to start. Checks him with the projectile. Rips the slasher out. They were right to be on guard there. Jumps up. Smart use of the invincibility on the overdrive Tensho. Brushes that off and keeps going. Uses the gauge for a super art. Quick brick springs forward with the drive rush. Player 1 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Knockdown and player all the throw connects. Getting up close and personal. They're going for the super art. The greatest Sobot. Can they build off of it? A real test of nerve here. Flatline zone. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Tries to bait him with the projectile. There's a drive rush to throw the opponent off balance. So, a drive rush can really close the distance, putting moves that would otherwise be out of reach in that sweet spot to launch a surprise attack. Player one is just about out of drive after that, finding it tricky to manage their drive. A depleted drive gauge will really limit their options here. Smart meter management is one of the keys to winning, so they'll have to keep tabs on that if they want to win this match. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Player two needs to deal with this burnout. Both fighters are trying to decide their next move. The jump in catches them. Goes for a projectile to try and change the pace. Trying to read each other here. Burnout activates. Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. Player one needs to hold out until their drive gauge recovers. KO. Player two picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Now hits them with a stopping block. Closes the gap. What a clutch side switch there. Now they need to capitalize on this chance. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. Player one creates a good corner opportunity. They gotta be careful not to overextend or their opponent might go for a side switch. Player two has the right drive rush to keep it going. Player one can't use any drive moves without burning out. Nice counter. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over soon. Burnout activates. Player two will look to apply pressure in there. Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. How is this rematch going to play out? Are we going to witness a blow-up here? Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Shoots off a fireball up close. You're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Ooh, what's this? The move whips, and they get nailed with a punch counter. Gets through the opening. Strings it all together. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Feeling out the spacing. Their drive gauge was running low, but they use an overdrive art anyway just to show they're not gunshot. Both fighters are low on drive gauge. They'll want to tread carefully for this part of the fight. Are they going to press on the attack or hang back? Jacks them with a projectile. The super armor does its job. Brings out the super art. How is this gonna work out for them? Experiencing burnout. In a dire KO. Player one takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Everything up until now, and everything from here on out, is so vital. Closes the gap. Neither of them willing to back off here. Jackknife maximum cuts clean through him. Drive rush to keep it going. Closes the distance. Air slasher. The fighters return to springs forward with the drive rush. Rips the slasher out. Clean parry. Going in. Looking for a chance. Charging in with the drive rush. Watching each other carefully. Who will make the first move? Looks like they both want to stay out of the corner. Attempts to break the stalemate with a fireball. A quick breather. Quick dash in. Uses the gauge for a super arm. Triple Jinrai hits. Good damage off of it. Both fighters planning something? Player two drops them to half, closing the gap. points lead here. Low heavy. Oh, here we go. They decide to take a breather to regroup. The low kick hits. The throw does an excellent block. There's a burnout. Somehow manages to block the jump in and whips. They're wide open. Player 2 can't use any drive move. Impact squash. This is a critical moment. Both of them back off. They may be preparing for the burns out. We're so close to get the tip with the low heavy. Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion. They're still hungry. Both sides stepping up for the rematch. They choose to run it back. Let's get right to it. Uses the parry. Parrying attack like that is risky, but the reward is the drive gauge building up. On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Knockdown. Uses the target combo to take a chunk of damage off the opponent. Both fighters are sitting on a full drive gauge. This might be prime time to let it rip. Will they use their drive to break through or to turn up the heat? Sticks the jump in. Player 1 creates a good